First I was kind of excited, like I got a warrant, this is kind of cool. Then I realized it wasn't cool. Okay, so back in 2001, I was at a car show and this white Integra shows up and this guy gets out loud, full of energy. And the first thing I hear him say is, "I have AEM everything." And that person is Damon Fryer. So before there were supercars, before there was donuts, before there was DDE, there was Integras. We both had them. And I learned that he was actually making car parts out of carbon fiber in his mom's garage. And I wanted to get some aero for my car. I had an Integra, it's time for some aero, as you do. And so I messaged him probably through MSN Messenger, which was a thing back then. And I said, I want to buy some canards off you for my front bumper. So I went to Damon's house in his garage and we made from scratch. He had a whole mold press system and all these things I don't understand to make some carbon fiber parts. So we made my canards, started chatting, became friends. I would hang out in his garage, we would work on cars, get into trouble, and that was the next 2 years. When you're younger, life changes. You get married, you have kids, you move away, and over time we just stopped chatting. We didn't have Facebook, that wasn't out yet. It was hard to stay in contact. And Damon moved away, I moved away. About 13 or 14 years later, I'm working for Starbucks. I've been there for 10 years. And I was still into cars. I didn't really have anything special. I think I had an older BMW, but I had kids and life progressed and it became more about mortgage payments than car payments. So I'm working for Starbucks and I see in one of my stores a black 458. Now at the time, I didn't know what it was. I knew it was a Ferrari because it had a Ferrari logo on it, but I didn't really understand what it was. And I saw this car, and where we live on Vancouver Island in Canada, there really is no supercars. If there are, you don't see them. To see a black Ferrari 458, which is a modern Ferrari at the time, you just don't see it. So it caught my attention. I walk into my store and I look over and I see Damon Fryer sitting there on his laptop working away, and immediately knew that's his car because Damon was always very determined and he loved cars, so it just made sense. So I walked over and I was like, what the hell? Is that your car? Oh yeah, that's my car. And I was like, I hadn't seen him in 10 years. I heard rumors that he had a Gallardo, but then I saw the car. So we started chatting and he obviously had this idea for daily driven exotics. And I've always loved cars. And I just right away was like, I'm interested. So over the next year, we started connecting as friends. We'd hang out. We were both married with kids, get the families together. And then one day he said to me, I have an idea for a car rally. And at that point, I was learning more about exotic cars, understood more about the lifestyle. And he said, yeah, I want to do the world's first winter-driven supercar rally. We're going to take 20 supercars in the middle of winter and drive them across the US. And right away, I was like, wow, I've never heard of that. How can I help? And he said to me, do you want to come on Snowball Rally as a volunteer? Help me out run it, you can come for free. And in my job, I didn't get to travel. I wasn't around exotic cars. It sounded amazing. So I was like, absolutely, I'll help you. I don't need any money, anything. I just want to come. I'm in the luggage truck. I'm driving a Chevy Suburban. I'm struggling to keep up with the cars in front of me. Now on rallies, typically cars stick together. So there's protection from a radar in the front. There's radios. You can call where the cops are. And then if you see the car in front of you brake, you'll probably brake as well. Unfortunately, the Suburban tops out at 110 miles an hour. And we are just outside of Las Vegas in the desert. And I'm trying to keep up to the group. And I'm flying. And all of a sudden, I'm in the Suburban. I can smell it, working really hard. And I look and I see a cop with lights on. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get my first ticket in the US on a rally. This is gonna be fun. Then I realized that I'm driving the luggage truck with about 40 pieces of luggage that don't belong to me. And I don't know what's in it. And I'm getting pulled over. And I don't understand the laws around excessive speeding, what's gonna happen. So immediately, I'm definitely scared. My face is bright red. I get pulled over for the first time and the cop's already very upset. And I was trying to be a polite Canadian. I'm sorry about that. And he's just standing to the side, I had to look back and see him. And he's really upset. And I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. First thing I thought was, they're going to look through the luggage. Someone brought something they shouldn't have brought. And I'm like, okay, I have it. So it's my responsibility. And I'm panicking. And the cop goes back to his car. And for whatever reason, it's 25 minutes. And I'm waiting. Okay, do I call my lawyer? Okay, I don't have a lawyer. Okay, should I Google a lawyer's phone number? I go to call Damon, but unfortunately, there's no service. So I'm stuck out there. Cop comes back. I get a ticket. And he gave me a little bit of a break. I think it was a $300 ticket, no big deal. What I didn't realize was back where we live in Canada, if you don't pay a ticket, they attach to your insurance. The next year you renew your insurance, you pay your ticket, no big deal. I never paid the ticket. I forgot about it. And about 2 years later, I'm back, and I got some letters saying now you owe $800, now it's $1,000. I thought, oh, I better deal with that. 2 years later, I'm back in Nevada, and my lawyer calls me, because by that point, I got a lawyer. And she says, there's a warrant for your arrest in the state. I'm like, for what? She goes, for that ticket. I'm like, it's a speeding ticket. She, yeah, they'll arrest you. You go to jail or whatever, and you'll pay your ticket. And at first I was kind of excited, like, I got a warrant, this is kind of cool. Then I realized it wasn't cool, and I paid the ticket and it went away. But I've learned since then, if you get a ticket in the US, you need to pay it, because they'll put you in jail. I met awesome people. I got to go in supercars. It was amazing. And something about that made me really think like this would be an amazing business and lifestyle. And it was almost like, you know, Jonah Hill and Leonardo DiCaprio in The Wolf of Wall Street, where he says, you know, I don't care what it is, I'll work for you. You send me a check for $60,000, I'll quit my job right now. And I had this vision of what DDE could be. With Damon, with his idea, it made so much sense. I didn't doubt it. So after Snowball Rally, I proved to him, you know, I have the ability to, you know, do brand deals, run a business, organize logistics, and I have a relentless work ethic. Because on the rally, you slept 2 hours a night. There was logistics, people would do luggage, and I was just making, whatever it took, I made it happen. So Damon made me a really awesome offer. He says, do you want to be part of DDE? Do you want a piece of the company in exchange for helping me grow it? And this is a time where DDE was, I think, 50,000 subscribers. And Damon was still trying to figure out what it is DDE was going to be from a long haul standpoint. But again, back to that reference, Jonah Hill, it made total sense to me. I believed in it more than anything I've ever believed in my life. I knew this was going to work. There came a point where we had to go all in or no in. So I was working at my job at Starbucks. I wasn't really happy with my career. I always wanted to do something bigger, more exciting, more fun. I wanted to travel. And I had a taste of supercars, so inherently, I really wanted a supercar. Once you experience it, it's like, I get it, you get it. You can see them, they're beautiful, drive one. My first time ever driving a supercar was in a McLaren 650S. We were doing a video shoot, and I'm driving this car, and right away, I was smiling ear to ear. And I remember the experience of watching the active air with the wing braking. And I was so excited driving this car. I was also petrified, because I can't afford to replace this car or repair this car or even do an oil change in this car. So I'm driving, everyone's flying around, I'm always at the back getting yelled at. I proceed from driving the 650S to an Aventador. And big car, lots of blind spots. And now we're going back into Vegas in the city. And I'm with my friend Nick, who's saying, drive faster, drive faster, drive faster. And I'm just trying to figure out what the buttons and switches are. And it was terrifying, but very exciting at the same point. And that's really, again, when you first drive an exotic car, a supercar, as you will, you really understand what makes them so special, the noises and the sounds, and just how fast they are and how easy it is to speed. Whereas, you know, I've had, you know, BMWs and Mercedes where in my BMW M3, you can speed excessively. You have to really work at it, and you're aware of what's about to happen because they're pushing that car to go fast. Whereas an Aventador with the long gears, you can be doing 120 without even thinking about it. So it came to a point where I told my wife that, you know, we really want to grow DDE. We really want to do it to the next level. I want to leave my safe corporate income, benefits, vacation, and I want to go make videos on YouTube with my friend Damon. And my wife was like, you think it's going to work? And I said, yep. She goes, okay, sounds good. Everybody else, not so much. Family, friends were like, they're your friends, but they care about you, but they don't see it the way you see it sometimes. You kind of got to understand in your mind and your heart if this is going to work and go after it. Because had I listened to the majority of my circle of people, I'd still be working a regular job. So I ended up leaving Starbucks and going full-time at DDE. And since then, my life has changed so much. I've been able to travel, meet amazing people, and get my first supercar, which is only a few months ago. So back in September, we were in Vancouver at a car show. And Damon told me he bought a new car. Damon says, yeah, I got another supercar for the channel. I said, great, good, more content. So it's the unveil of the car. We were talking about buying an Aventador or another 458, but I had an idea what he was looking for. So we meet in a parking lot with August Luxury Motor Cars, who's a dealer we work with. And there's a car, it's got a cover on it. We pull up, and before the cover comes off, Damon surprises me and says, it's actually for you. And I said, huh? And then I started to think, I looked at the shape of the car and I'm like, we had just been looking at an R8. And they had one there. It was a manual V8 R8. and I wanted to buy it. And Damon said, not the right time. Wait a year. And he kind of killed my dreams. He goes, yeah, wait a year. Let's make some more money. Because I don't own DDE. Damon's the majority owner. I own a little piece of it. It's essentially his money. I can't just go buy a supercar. And he said, we got to wait for the right time. But what he was doing was saying that, you can't have it now. But in the meantime, who went and bought the car and didn't tell me. So this whole time I'm like, oh, wait. And again, I appreciate everything. He brought me in this company. It's been amazing. But I wanted my own car. But it wasn't the right time, and I accepted that. So here we are in the parking lot, and he says it's for me. They pull the cover off, and there is the manual V8 R8 that was for me. And that was my first supercar. And if you watch the video, it's on our channel, I was like overwhelmed. And when I get excited, I don't talk. I kind of just takes me a second to understand what's happening. Got in the car, drove it for the first time, and it was just the clicking of the manual, the gated manual in that car was an amazing experience. And I'm forever grateful for that. Since then, we've modified it. It's got exhaust, tuned, wrapped, crazy DDE camo. And yeah, it's been amazing.
VINwiki trusts AP3 paint protection with all of our cars. To learn more about clear bra options and ceramic coating, visit ap3atl.com.